Hi, I'm Ken Jr. and welcome to TrainWorld TV. Here you'll find the latest and greatest in model trains. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. And if you're new to our channel, we're glad you're here, and I invite you to click the subscribe button and hit that bell notification so you'll never miss a video. Now, we'd also love to send you exclusive deals and special announcements that you won't find anywhere else. So be sure to sign up for our emails, TW Text, and stay connected with us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Now, you can find all the links in the description box below or trainworld.com. And without further ado, enjoy today's video.
All right, and good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Lionel Morning Show. Early Thursday morning, we woke everybody up, so hopefully you could make it this morning and join us because we have an action-packed episode, the Lionel 2024 C2 Catalog Second Edition, and we're going to flip through with Lionel. The Lionel team is joining us here today. And we also have my father, Ken Sr., who is revved up, ready to go. He's had 10 shots of espresso already, and I heard him in the pre-morning show. I was like, wow, he is ready. So we got him muted, so let me unmute him there. So he's already revved up and ready to go. And from Lionel, we have the whole team Lionel has sent, and we welcome them and thank them for joining us today.
Yeah.
And Lionel, if you want to go through and introduce yourselves.
Well, as most of you know me, I'm Ryan. I'm the thorn between two roses here, and we've got the best product team on the planet here with us today to go through C2, and we're excited to be here. Cori, Meghan, let's introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Meghan Frazier. I'm product manager here at Lionel.
And hi, I'm Cori Harwell. I'm also project manager here at Lionel.
Awesome. Great to have you this morning. Really appreciate it. And I'm sure everybody out there does appreciate it. And we're also going to start off this morning right with a raffle. And we're going to raffle off a Lionel TrainWorld boxcar. So put in the chat hashtag I love Lionel and the state you're from, and or you know what, change that to Lionel C2 2024 or I love Lionel. I don't know, you decide. It's early in the morning. Put in the state you're from, put it in hashtag and tag Lionel, tag us, and we'll raffle this beautiful boxcar this morning. So let's kick it off, because it's bright and early, and we're here to talk about the brand new catalog. And I'm not sure, I guess it always seems like it starts off with the big engines, right?
Yeah, I always try and start off with something big. I'm trying to get it up here on the screen. Maybe, is that me there? Good.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, Ryan, before you get started, I thought it was a clever idea to put the observation on C2, because on the first edition, the C1, you had the engine on the front. Now you got the observation on it. So it's a great pair. I thought it was clever advertising. Very nice.
Yeah, definitely. It bookends the two catalogs this year really nicely. And of course, we've just saw a tooling sample, by the way, of that new scale version of the Polar observation car. So they'll be coming in in time for Christmas, and they look great.
Very neat.
All right.
And even though this new catalog is coming in, we just got it in August. A lot of these items are going to be shipping out during Christmas time. So Polar Express, get ready. There's tons of Polar Express items. So and we also got the catalog, first catalog items coming in over the winter and fall as well. And I actually also, before we start, the base 3 is in. so make sure if you're looking for some power, the base 3s are in. We're shipping them. We got out all our pre-orders. It was ginormous effort to ship all those out. So we thank the Lionel team for getting them out and in the hands of the consumers. So we appreciate that. So and if you're interested in learning more about the base 3, next week, the same time, 8:30 a.m., we're going to have Lionel's very own Dave Olson come on, and he's going to talk about the base 3 product, FAQs, 101s, kind of like a tutorial, what's going on, questions. So it's going to be highly anticipated, and Dave's kind of like the guru for base 3. So if you're looking for the wizard, Dave will be on next week, 8:30 a.m. on TrainWorld TV, Thursday morning. So stay tuned. But right now, we're going to hear from Ryan. And listen, Ryan loves Conrail GG1s. He loves Pennsylvania. So I guess this is his creation.
Oh, yeah, definitely. GG1s have been one of my favorites since I was about, 2 years old or so. I've always loved these locomotives, and why not? They're just a great locomotive for so many reasons. And I couldn't get Conrail on the cover, but I settled for the first page. But yeah, this is a re-release of the Vision locomotive that came out in 2016. It's got all the same great features that it had then, plus a few more goodies. Like 4-digit addressing when you're using the base 3 and cab 3. We've improved the gearbox in this for better operation. We've added a few new details here and there, a few new detail variations amongst the more than a dozen or so that we've got here in the catalog. So wonderful locomotive. You've got a die-cast shell on these, 12 powered axles. These things should pull just great. And whether you're modeling the 1930s or the 1970s, we've got a GG1 out there for you, and all the cars that you could ever want to pull it behind it. So these also have the great pantograph features on them that will operate automatically. They're set so that if you change direction, the rear pantograph is always up. And when they're up, you get the great catenary sparking LED effect on the top of the pantograph and the catenary arcing sound in the sound system. These have the stereo sounds. They've got directional lighting and all the different lighting features. They've got a smoke unit for the steam generator. There's also a mechanical lockout switch for those pantographs. So if you have low bridges and tunnels and don't want them raised all the time, you can lock them out mechanically and never have to worry about that. So really great locomotives, tons of detail options. And paint scheme options. It's one of the great things about the GG1 is you can do it so many times, and there's always paint schemes you can't quite cover. So really happy to get this one back in the catalog.
Yeah, and Ryan, just to recap on the GG1, when these first came out for the first time Vision line, the GG1s were made, the pantograph feature with the sparking effect, it was unbelievable. I mean, it truly is groundbreaking technology. If you don't have a Vision Line GG1, now's your chance to get this feature because it's awesome. I'm trying to bring up a video here to show it on display, but it is really wild to see where you have that and the sounds of it like sparking. It just gives that awesome effect. So it adds a whole different dimension to trains. So if you haven't seen this feature before, you're going to want to see it. It's just really unique, really different, and the Lionel team really did a great job adding this unique feature to the GG1.
Yeah, as you guys know, because you're up there in the area, you see the electric trains all the time, and that catenary spark, that little arc that you get up there on the electric trains is so distinctive and such a neat part of their animation. You know, it's not like a steam locomotive where you have side rods and steam, you know, smoke pouring out of everywhere and stuff like that. But you know, your eyes drawn to some of the smaller things on these electrics when they make a noise or do something interesting, and that's one of the features you see on an electric train that was fun to add in here.
Yeah. Ryan, I don't know if it's a typo. It talks about a smoke unit.
Yeah. The GG1s were originally equipped with a small boiler to generate steam, which was pumped back through the trains in the passenger trains for your steam heating. Wasn't a problem with the steam locomotive. You had a nice big boiler there with plenty of steam to spare, but when they started switching over to electrics and diesels, you still needed steam. And that lasted into the Amtrak era on these locomotives. They were never equipped with head end power. So when we get to the Amtrak spread, you'll see that we have the power car there that was used with these in their final years as well.
Oh, great. Another thing I see on this Conrail, somebody pointed it out to me that only 2 of them have rivet detail. And why is that?
We did 2 of the variations with rivets this go around. There was only 1 riveted GG1 ever built. This was the prototype unit, and then all the rest of the car bodies, after Raymond Loewy got a hold of the design, were done with welding to smooth all the lines. We did 2 of the paint schemes this time. We had done 2 or 3 other paint schemes in the first run. There's still a few paint schemes that rivets wore that we haven't included yet, but that, you know, saves something for the next run.
Okay. I like the rivets. It's a lot of detail.
So we'll move into some of the paint schemes here. And first up, we've got the Congressional and the Senator. These were the premier passenger trains between Washington and New York. Both trains were very, very similar in their consist. And so we've got 2 different GG1s here set up to pull it. The first is the silver one that you see here, and then we've got one of the red versions on the next page. The red was really designed to run with these trains as well as the other long distance trains like the Silver Meteor and so forth that went south out of Washington, D.C. on down to Florida. It complemented the passenger cars nicely. They tried a matching silver GG1 once, and it didn't last very long. It was very hard to keep clean, but really cool paint scheme, and we had not done that one in quite some time, certainly not as a Vision engine, so we added that one here in this round. For passenger cars, we've got 2 sets of the 18-inch aluminum cars that are back again in the catalog. These are both done up in the similar paint scheme. And if you wanted to combine cars, you could combine the 2 packs very easily to stretch the consist a little bit if you wanted to. The only difference between this set for the Congressional and here on the next spread for the Senator are the names on the sides of the cars. And of course, the dining cars will announce the correct train name for each version. So depending on which train you want to have for Station Sound Diner announcements, you may want to get the appropriate dining car for that. We also have the 2-pack of 18-inch plastic passenger cars, the heavyweights. The Pennsylvania had 4 of these cars that they converted over as spare cars for peak travel days, or if some of the special equipment for these 2 coach trains was in the shop, they would have some equipment they could put in the consist that sort of blended in. So they gave them a simulated stainless steel fluting paint scheme and match the consist so that when it was zipping by you, you didn't notice a bright red car in the middle of the train or something that would stick like a sore thumb. So those 2 can be used interchangeably on the Congo or the Senator, and it's a neat little touch to add in there as well.
And Rye, I'm just trying to find some. This was actually our video back. It's got to be like 4 years ago now. But this was me and you. And you were showing us the pantograph.
Been done before. Yeah, this would have been LED lights 8 years ago. That's the prototype that we had that I hand painted and decaled. I haven't seen that in a while.
Very nice.
But do you see that arcing effect? That is wild.
Speakers in this locomotive, moved them to the
And
end.
all these GG1s are going to have that effect, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. Regardless of paint scheme, all the GG1s will have all the same great features that you see there on the opening spread of the vision page. So,
and I must say, you age like fine wine. Look at that.
Yeah, maybe soured grape juice.
you look like a baby there.
Yeah, this is what making trains for all you people for 8 years has done to me.
Very cool. But so this is an older YouTube video, but we still have it up there. So if you want to see that arcing effect, it's still out there. It's Lionel Vision Line Scale GG1 in our old video library, but really cool. You get a lot. Ryan does a great job of showing that arcing effect and talking about it as usual. So if you want to see that a little more, always good to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ryan, on the 2-pack passenger cars, Pennsylvania, what's the road name on the one car? I can't read it. Is that, say, Shadow Line or?
Yeah, the Shadow Line. Those are for the two heavyweight cars there. And the Shadow Line was the paint effect that they gave to them. There is a road name on the car. I'd have to zoom in here and see it. Or maybe if I can pull it in my paper catalog, I could probably, with my glasses on, I might be able to see it.
Mm-hmm.
As
John Hancock?
Yeah, John Hancock would be the car. That sounds right. Would be the car, Megan.
Okay.
There were 4 cars. 2 of them had numbers. 2 of them had names. So I couldn't quite remember which one that I had chosen for this round.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
John Hancock. I should have made the name bigger on the side of the car.
All right. Next.
All right. Next up for the east-west trains, we've got the Spirit of St. Louis here in the 21-inch passenger cars. Very similar concept to the Broadway Limited. The Spirit was the New York to St. Louis equivalent of the Broadway. So it was first class all the way. This represents the 1948 cars from the 1948 consist. So you've got the 4-pack, 2-pack of additional sleepers, and then the twin unit diner here. This train carried a 2-unit diner with a kitchen in one car and seating in the other. And so this will have the sounds in one car for the station sound effects, and then full interior ready for detailing in the other. We've got 2 GG1s on this page. We've got the experimental scheme on the 4829. This one I've heard a lot of buzz about. A lot of people really like this one, and it's kind of grown on me. It was a simplified paint scheme that the Penske tried early on, and for whatever reason, they decided they didn't like it. So it didn't last very long, but I think it's kind of classy and cool. And then we've got the more traditional Lowy 5-stripe Brunswick green DGLE GG1 there, 4859. Also a great option for these trains.
And the GG1s run on 072. I see on a lot of these pages, my eye focuses on 054, but that's only the cars are 054, correct?
Yes, correct. The cars will do 054, the Gs will do 072. There's a lot of wheels and a lot of overhang on these things.
Okay.
We get into the Penn Central era. We have a lot of demand going back to the original first run of the JLC GG1s to do more Penn Central units. And so hopefully these fit the bill nicely. We've got it in the common white logo, and then the 4906 got the 2-unit or the 2-color PC with the red P there. So that was a fun variation to do. And then for the aluminum cars, Penn Central still kept those original cars running, but they definitely started looking anything but a matched set. So we had some fun with these, as we usually do with the Penn Central cars, and mix things up a little bit. So your deco's all different on these cars, different grooves and lettering details.
Looking at the leaderboard of GG1s, what everybody's ordering, it looks like 4877 seems to be the most popular at the moment. Everybody's, I mean, it's classic Tuscan 5-stripe.
Yeah. Yeah.
That engine was also returned to five-stripe Tuscan by New Jersey Transit later on too, so you can get double duty out of it. I suspect that might be helping the orders out there, especially up in your neck of the woods. And we've got a couple of Amtrak units here as well. The first one, 921, is the one-off savings bond unit. Simple scheme, but very cool. On this page, we've got a number of the 21-inch cars. Again, this is the early years of Amtrak when equipment was brought in from every railroad that was contributing, but hadn't all been repainted yet. And so you see a nice variety here in colors. These cars would look great behind the GG1. You could also put these behind some of your other early power, like the Amtrak E8s that we've done recently, and so forth. So a really fun set of concepts that could be used nationwide. You wouldn't be just limited to the Northeast Corridor. The power car you see there, Ken, like we talked about earlier, as Amtrak started buying new equipment like the Amfleet cars, they were equipped with head-end power. The GG1 still had a few years left in them, and the new power was struggling on the corridor, so they converted a few baggage cars over to head-end power cars, and you'd see one of these tucked in behind a GG1 ahead of the Amfleets or the rebuilt Heritage Fleet cars. So for guys who are running those later trains, this is a nice addition to have in there as well.
The Steam Channel, Chris over there had a good question. Do the cars in the rainbow packs have the Amtrak markings, or do they just have the markings of the paint scheme for each car? Not sure if you know.
Yeah, it's a great question, and it's sort of a mix. There's like, for example, in the 4-pack, you've got the baggage car that's been repainted already. The Northern Pacific and Great Northern cars are pretty pure as they were in their end of service paint schemes on those railroads. The ex-Santa Fe car has the faded out Santa Fe lettering. No Amtrak marks yet, but the later lettering sort of has a faded out look. Likewise, on the ex-Union Pacific car, some Union Pacific lettering had been removed. The Seaboard Coastline car is still pretty much intact. They have their ACI tags put on them for the era, and then the diner is a repainted Amtrak version. So we tried to give sort of a nice hodgepodge mix of railroads and vintage schemes there. Generally, when they got repainted wholly. There weren't a whole lot of patches from what I found in the prototype photos on these, but we did match to these cars in years that they were in Amtrak years. So all the cars were based off of a photograph that was taken post 1971. So that was how they looked on Amtrak, at least at one point.
Yeah, and in the wording on the page, it talks about you can run them with Amtrak. Is it Amtrak E8s or any E8s?
Yeah, Amtrak E8s. Of course, the E8s at that point, all their power at that point was the same way. It hadn't all been repainted on day one. So you can continue a rainbow consist here with these with a whole variety of power.
Okay.
Our second Amtrak consist is a little bit more uniform. This uses the 18-inch aluminum cars. So you'll have that nice metallic weight and look to them. And then the GG1 here is another one of the sort of repaint or patch jobs with the ex-Pennsylvania Penn Central striping and the relettered Amtrak lettering. Again, you could swap either of these GG1s, or we did the silver, red, and blue in the previous round of Vision GG1s. You could pair that up with these cars as well if you've got one of those. There's a great variety of power that you could use with these locomotives.
Yeah, is that a black GG1 or a green, dark green?
It's dark green.
Oh, interesting.
It's hard to tell the difference, especially by the time they got to this vintage. It was even harder to tell because there was usually a nice layer of dust over them.
Okay.
One that we've had a lot of buzz about, the America's Railroads GG1. This was painted for the 1969 special that ran out from New York to Utah and back. On the return trip, the GG1 had been repainted for the last leg into New York City, and then the GG1 stayed in that paint for a number of more years And so you could put this with a Penn Central consist or other equipment just as easily and be prototypical in here. We've done the 759 Burke, which pulled the train for most of its journey previously in this paint scheme, both in the Scale Legacy version as well as the LionChief Plus 2.0 version. And now you've also got matching passenger cars to go along with it that are all very close to the cars used in this actual train. So you've got the B60 baggage cars that were the exhibit cars, the twin unit diner, the dome car and coaches, and then the former Pennsylvania Tower View, Mountain View used on this train. So we've got the correct tooling for those, all in that nice baby blue paint with the gold lettering. So a really fun paint scheme and a really sharp looking train.
Yeah. Yeah, very nice. Very attractive set. Very nice.
And of course, the G's were also freight engines. So we did a custom freight set here as one of our Vision Line sets. Here you get one of the GG1s in the 5-stripe paint scheme, the Jersey City Ice Car, which is a hot box reefer. So you've got all the great effects there. Penn Salt Tank Car, a TOFC car, the Timken Roller Bearing Car with freight sounds, a special one-off paint scheme, which was an experimental scheme, was never applied to anything, but we adapted it here to the X31. It's such a good-looking paint scheme. And then a Vision Line caboose that has all of your crew sounds and TIR on there and lighting effects and so forth. Really fun item. So you've got a lot of action in this set from front to back. A lot of great play value in here.
Maria Bianco was FaceTime me.
Uh-oh, you're in trouble, Ken.
You're in trouble.
And then we've also got another version of old rivets here in the original pre-Lowy paint scheme. This is as it looked the first time it wore the number 4800. Our second riveted version here, and then two more Vision cabooses available separate sale in some of the most common Pennsylvania paint schemes for those who'd like to add those with your GG1s or any Pennsy power and build up your own freight train to match.
Very neat.
The rivets also on the bottom there, right?
Yeah, old rivets on the bottom there for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I like the rivets. I think extra detail.
Yeah, it's a fun locomotive.
And
then the GG1, kind of an iconic locomotive from Lionel's past, and we're gearing up for a big anniversary next year of our own, and so it felt nice to incorporate some of that here into the lineup. And so for this first one, we have a set based off a set that originally came out in 1947, and we've just scaled it all up. So we've got one of our Vision Gs here. The paint on this will be done to match the original Lionel paint. So some of the striping and lettering is a little bit different. The color will be a little bit different. It won't be matched purely to the Pensy dark green, but it has all the other great Vision features that we've seen throughout the rest of the catalog. And then the original came with 3 Madison cars, and we've replicated those here with our 18-inch heavyweight passenger cars to give you that look. That's what the original set was like, but if you wanted to expand, we've also added an additional Vision baggage car and station sound diner, and then an observation car to bring up the rear. So you could grow this into a 6-car match set. And it's a really sharp looking train that harkens back to Lionel's glory years in the post-war.
yeah, very nice set. Very nice set. Now you have all these different cities on it, and I'd like to know what years each city Lionel was in at what time it started in those cities. Maybe on future cars use the road number as the year they were in that city.
Well, we kept the same road numbers for the coaches as the original set, which were all 2603. We varied them up for the 3 add-on cars. So we tried to stay true to the original post-war for that.
Yeah.
But they all do represent towns or cities that have been home to either the headquarters or a significant operation here in Lionel's past. So each one of the cars has a nice name that ties back into the Lionel story.
Yep.
Also, we have some aluminum cars in the Lionel Lines paint scheme as well. Just very simple, classy, good-looking cars that would go great behind a GG1 or, anything. Well, that's the great thing about the Lionel Lines paint scheme is that it just works with anything Lionel. And there's probably a pretty good chance with our anniversary coming up in the next few catalogs, there'll be some more Lionel Lines locomotives that you could pair these with if you wanted to do so. But I really like the way they turned out. We wanted to keep them simple and true to sort of the old era, and they turned out really nice.
Yeah. I noticed figures in these cars, but on some pages there's no figures. Are all the pages going to have figures in all these cars, the Penske Tuscan ones? And
so all of the 18-inch cars, the aluminum cars will have figures. The 21-inch cars will not.
Okay.
They have the easy to open interiors that you can get in there and detail to your heart's content. The aluminum cars and the plastic 18-inch heavyweights are a little bit more difficult to disassemble, so we've always gone ahead and put the figures in there for people so they didn't have to try and figure out the Rube Goldberg that is to take one of those cars apart.
Okay. And you still make the figures, the sitting figures?
Absolutely, we make the sitting figures. So if you want to add more figures to any of these cars, you can definitely do it.
Okay. And the figures look like the crew of Lionel?
No, they're more handsome than some of us, and not as beautiful as others.
Okay.
And unlike me, they don't age. Some more complimentary things to go with the GG1s. We've got a return of the B60 baggage car, both in the traditional options here with some classic paint schemes, as well as a few Penn Central variations we hadn't done before. And then also for the first time, we have a couple of Vision featured cars here. These are the Vision baggage cars. If you've seen any other of our Vision baggage cars in the past, you know what these are like. You get the loading and unloading sequences when you pull the train into the station that you can activate and hear a whole variety of things going in and out of the express cars. Cool thing about the B60s is they traveled all over the country. So you can put one of these in the head end of a train on the Pennsylvania or on just about any other railroad that they connected with. We also did a generic Railway Express agency car for those who want something that's not Penske or PC. And so different detail variations on these as well in terms of the doors and roofs that we use with these cars to match prototype photos. Very nice car, one of our more highly detailed passenger cars, and a lot of fun with the Vision features added in.
Mm-hmm. Now I noticed on the REA Vision, that's an incorrect price in the catalog, right? A misprint?
Yes, yeah, the public price there, the Vision's the same as the other Visions.
Okay, yep. Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll head on into some of our legacy diesels. We've got I believe this is the last 5, or maybe it's the first of the last 10. I can't remember anymore. I haven't had as much espresso as Ken Sr. this morning. The Norfolk Southern Heritage units coming back in here with the SD70 Aces. These are these will have new tooling for the cabs to have the correct insulated cab option there, which has a couple different lines on the nose. We tooled that up differently for the last time we ran these, which was C2 of last year, but the art didn't make it into the catalog. So what did Norfolk Southern fans know? You'll have those correct on these, and also the PTC antenna on the roof, which is what they have in today's era on Norfolk Southern. So those will be a couple of things that visually will make them a little bit different from the first time we ran these in 2012. And then all the NS, all the heritage units will be available in one powered number, and then also the same number unpowered for those who are looking to collect them all but don't need them all powered, or we're just looking for a nice piece to put on the shelf or run as a non-powered unit in your trains. All the heritage units.
So that Beeline service is awesome paint scheme.
Yeah, it's
Really popped up.
one of the best for sure. We've also got the Penn Central, Savannah, and Atlanta, Wabash, and Virginian here
Yeah.
to finish off the NS Heritage units. Some great color. We've got the new Ferromex SD70s as well. Really cool new paint scheme on those with the bright colors and the striping. That'll be available in two numbers, both powered. And then a few more that were highly requested: the Canadian National Grand Trunk Heritage Unit, Maine Northern, and then the Susquehanna when they purchased theirs. Not long after the last run of these, they showed up, and so we said we would definitely hit them in the next go round. So those should be very popular for you.
Yeah, Susquehanna always does good. Nobody makes enough of that stuff, so that goes. And the Ferromex, I tell you, in N scale and HO, that's like the hottest paint scheme out there. So I'm looking forward to see what it does in O gauge.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great new paint scheme on those, and they travel all over North America now. So it's not like you have to model Mexico or even the Southwest to put one on your layout. They show up everywhere.
Yeah. At one point, Lionel made trains in Mexico, didn't they?
Yeah, that didn't go so well. But now we just make trains that look like they came from Mexico.
I hear rumors that they would steal the whole car, the train car, with all the parts in it or something like that. It's like the real train car.
Lots of issues back then, but fortunately, I wasn't a project manager then. I wasn't even playing with Lionel trains at that point. We've got the second run of the Sea Liners.
Wait 1 second, Ryan. I'm sorry. We're not going to announce it right now, I don't think, but TrainWorld is working on a custom military engine on these SD70, and it's the paint job by far is going to be the nicest in military type of paint job. So just watch out for that. Watch out for our emails. It's going to be a pretty cool paint job in a military type thing.
Yeah, you guys have a couple of custom paint jobs coming on the SD70s. And they're all really cool, but I will give you props. Without trying to give too much away, the military one you have coming is awesome, and the fact that it's got the Long Island connection and everything in there, really cool.
Why don't we do a soft launch? Soft launch. Nothing is finalized yet. The Lionel team is working graciously with us, and we're working out the fine kinks and details. But we're trying to put together a Jolly Rogers SD70, and the factory was actually in Long Island for this plane, which we thought was unique and different, and a lot of people know about this plane. So the artwork still isn't done, but we are taking soft pre-orders, and we'll be announcing it a little later on once we get everything finalized and up. But it's the F-14A Tomcat plane, and I believe the Tomcats were in Top Gun as well. So really cool stuff. And I think it really ties tribute to the plane engine, and it's like the masters of the rail instead of masters of the air. So I thought that's pretty cool. But also right up, I would say, Ryan's alley, we're going to be doing a heritage Brunswick green 5-stripe, which I don't think anyone's really made something like this. It's pretty different. They did the heritage in the Tuscan, but not the Brunswick green. So we thought this was a little bit different. And you see the unique wording down below for Pennsylvania Railroad slogan, which off the top of my head I can't remember, but it's maybe Ryan, his history, he could spin it off the top of his head.
The standard railroad of the world.
Yeah, there you go. And 1846, the year. So we thought it's a sharp looking engine, something different for a SD70, something that you could put on your your layout, and also run back to back with the Tuscan one. So two little soft announcements, and again, both artworks aren't finalized. We're still working with the Lionel team, so it's a nice little sneak preview for everybody watching today.
Yeah. And it's also a big engine that runs on 036 track, and so just about everybody can have one of these running on their layout.
Absolutely. Yeah, you guys got some great paint schemes on those when they both came through. And yep, those will definitely hit strong. So I think you'll do real well.
All right.
All right. Can we move on into sea liners?
Yeah.
Back up there. This is our second run of the sea liners. It's the first time we'll be doing these with the two 4-axle trucks, or the two 2-axle trucks on them. The 4-axle versions, not the 5-axle variation. And we'll do these in 2 A units and a super base B unit. So you can do an ABA consist, or you can mix and match. These got paired up a lot with other forms of motive power on the different railroads. And we've got some great paint schemes for the roads that own these locomotives. The Canadian National in the original green and light yellow paint scheme, which actually has grown on me a lot. One of my favorites, certainly from the first time we ran these. Canadian Pacific, Milwaukee Road, New York Central, and Pennsylvania. So some great popular road names on here. Nice locomotive that's got the classic looks of an engine, but different enough from your FAs and your F7s and F3s that you really want some variety on your layout. This is a great way to get it.
New York Central Lightning Strip is pretty cool.
And then, of course, the PAs are back. One of the most beautiful engines ever built. These are available in powered AA sets. In the AA sets, both units are powered with full lights and smoke, electrocouplers. The lead unit has sounds. The second unit does not. And then we've got the super bass B unit that you can add in there as well, that has the smoke and the super bass sounds that kick those deep bass sounds up a notch and really add to the overall flavor of the audio experience when you're running these trains together. I should also mention, because I don't think I did, every one of the diesel engines and every one of the steam engines you see in this catalog now will have the 4-digit addressing feature on board when you're using the Base 3 and the Cab 3 app. So if you've got a large collection, or if you're like me and you just can't remember which 2 digits you assigned to the locomotive, you can use the 4-digit cab number as your locomotive address, which can be very handy at times.
Yeah.
That'll be a new feature here with these locomotives, and we've got some great new paint schemes on these as well. Santa Fe, of course, back again. Erie, New Haven. New Haven, I think, had more paint schemes than they had PAs. A lot of great variety there. Southern in the black, and then Southern Pacific in the daylight. It's been quite a while since we did a daylight PA, so brought those back.
On it looks mean.
Yeah, Santa Fe is the best seller so far in the catalog. This that color scheme, war bonnet, does amazing. We'll probably see this paint in many different Santa Fe paint schemes too. Yeah, it's just one of those great classic paint schemes that no one ever complains when we put it in the catalog, no matter how many times we do it. So we'll definitely keep putting it out there. Yeah, looks good.
We've also got the nickel plate units here. These have some new tooling in there. We've modified the nose to put the nose mounted bell on these engines on the A unit. So it's a neat feature, unique to the nickel plate for sure. And then an add-on set of 21-inch passenger cars. These are painted up so that they will look nice with the PAs, but also with the nickel plate Berks from the last catalog. We had so many requests for matching passenger cars for that 777 Berk. So here you go. These should look really awesome with either locomotive or with a black nickel plate steam engine or other nickel plate power as well, of course. But definitely had the special Burke in mind when we pulled these into the catalog.
Great idea. Great idea.
And then getting into one of Megan's favorites, she was a heavy influence on these. We've got our Halloween section here with some great scale options. The Midnight Flyer, Alco PAs, these will have our wonderful Halloween crew talk and sounds added in there. And then the Doomliner passenger train that matches to go along with them. All the cars are fun Doom names and great cars here. So you've got all the different dome car configurations that we have available, including the full length dome with the station sounds features in there and the other add-on packs. These will have purple LED interior lighting, and they have the little silhouettes of the ghostly orbs in the windows. Definitely didn't feel right putting figures in these. It seemed a little bit more fun to have the spirits floating around in the passenger train on this one. So really cool contest. There's some great roof detail on these as well that doesn't really show up in the catalog art, but some fun paint schemes on these that will really pop when you get them in person. And then Megan, I'll turn it over for you for a little bit. We want to talk about the Hudson.
Yeah, for the first time in a long time, we're bringing back the Lion Master J3 Hudson. And I can't not do a Halloween scheme when I do locomotives. What's fun about this one is that this one does glow in the dark. So similar to some of the scale pieces that Ryan's done already, this J3 will glow in the dark.
That's awesome. And Halloween has become such a big, I guess, area for model railroading, and especially O-Gauge, because Lionel has kind of made it a holiday that you actually model along with Christmas, where it's like highly correlated with and synonymous with trains. So Halloween is becoming so big with model trains, and Megan's doing a great job with all her spooky designs.
Yeah, it is definitely something that we see continuing to grow in sales numbers, and so we're just having fun with it. We've got a couple of great scale pieces of rolling stock here as well. The Freightliner trailers are a really fun TOFC piece, and then we've got the Witch's Brew 8,000 gallon tank car. This is some new twist on the tooling here. We've done some of these see-through cars with the liquid loads in the traditional line in the past. We thought we'd add some in this catalog for the scale guys. So here you'll have inside the liquid container with the frogs for the potions and all that good stuff, and you'll see some more of that in the pages ahead. But a neat piece for guys who want to have some more fun with the scale size cars.
Very nice, very nice.
Getting back into some more diesels, we have another run of the SW1s, a nice tiny little switcher that is packed with features. So you've got the legacy control and the 4-digit addressing, you've got smoke, you've got great sounds in these, electro couplers, and then you've got the fixed pilots on these as well. So even though they do an 031 curve, they are, very much a scale locomotive, and a lot of fun paint schemes we could do on these as well, including some well-known railroads, some lesser-known short lines, and some industrial companies that just have some great paint schemes that we wanted to include and have some fun with.
And I noticed that only one of them has handrails here, and it has a light on top of it. Is that a blinker or?
Yeah, that'll be a blinking light on top. We do try and vary the details a little bit on these as we can to match the prototypes. Most of the ones we chose this time just had the original as-built handrails, but a lot of them later on in life for safety got an extra railing added to the outside of the locomotive platform there as well. Likewise with rooftop details, sometimes they had lights, different horns, antenna configurations. We try and include those fun details as well when we can.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I tell you, small diesels like this, any kind of the SWs always sell out. They always sell out. People want the little road switchers.
And then we have our SD40-2s in the lineup. These are available in 1 or 2 road numbers each, depending on the paint scheme. Again, a lot of road-specific details here as well, including some new ones like the nose-mounted bell on the Chicago Northwestern units. We haven't done that before. It's just such a distinctive feature, both visually and audibly. This will have the gong bell sound as the bell option as well, which is a really neat piece there. Our friends at the Aberdeen, Carolina, and Western down here, we've done several of their locomotives in the past. They've been tremendously great sellers for us. This is their more standard freight paint scheme that they use for the most of their locomotives in the fleet, not the passenger equipment. But to my eyes, it is just as classy and striking as the magenta trains are. So really happy to include one of these in our lineup as well. To match that for fans of the AC and W. Really, really beautiful paint scheme. And then, of course, we've got the CP rail in the dual flag paint scheme up there as well, in 2 road numbers each.
Yeah.
Additionally, we've got 2 Sioux units, and then 3 special units. We've got the Reading and Northern's Heritage unit that came out about a year ago.
Oh, wow.
The Susquehanna's Heritage unit, which came out shortly thereafter, within a few weeks of each other. These hit the road, and both very popular. And then a paint scheme that I found and just sort of fell in love with and said it's too bright and interesting not to include in the catalog, for the Paducahville lease engine there. Another one-off that roamed the country and could go just about anywhere. So some great paint schemes here and some favorite railroads that people should really enjoy having and adding. And you can never have too many SD40-2s.
Very cool. That's a cool paint scheme for the Reading and Northern. Different.
Blue Mountain. Blue Mountain.
All right. Heading into the steam engines, we've got some big steam here. Return of the Y6B. This has been long awaited in the catalog. Wonderfully detailed locomotive. This will be the first time this engine comes out with the Bluetooth and 4-digit addressing. All the other latest legacy upgrades in here as well. And then for the first time, not only will this have whistle steam, but it was just big enough that we were able to squeeze safety valve steam in here as well. So you get 3 smoke units in these locomotives. And we've got 4 different road numbers for the Norfolk and Western, and then some heritage scheme or some fantasy schemes as well for other railroads that we figured you could spin a plausible yarn around on these locomotives. So really neat engines. We did 2 different smoke box door variations, the original smaller smoke box oval variation, and then the later units were delivered with the normal door as equipment was moved around. And then later versions were also rebuilt this way. So just another little detail that we were able to change in these to give some more variety.
Yeah, looking at the pre-orders, these did very well. A lot of people are excited about these, and which is it's going to be a good seller.
For some fantasy schemes, we've got Pensy, Santa Fe, UP, and Great Northern, which were all a lot of these railroads had purchased some earlier Norfolk and Western Power secondhand. By the time the Y6s were ready to be retired, everyone else had pretty much completely dieselized, so there weren't too many buyers for steam at that point, but we figured, what the heck. And then the Great Northern with the green boiler always does really well for us, and thought that would look cool as well.
Yep. Color sells these days. Color sells.
Speaking of which, we've got some great colorful mountains here in the catalog. Our USRA Light Mountain in a lot of variations, 4 different tenders used across these runs, a lot of other detail variations on the locomotives as well, where we could fit them in with headlights and bell locations and things like that. So we had a lot of fun on the mountains this go around with some of the details that we could do for roads that maybe didn't have the USRA version, but had things that were similar. But all based on prototypical paint schemes that these wore.
That blue Texas and Pacific is really cool. That's unique.
Really a sharp engine. Yeah. And that and the Santa Fe will both have the brass tender to go along with them, which which is why they're just a little bit more expensive, but they'll have that in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
We've got a return of the Heavy Mikado. Have not run these in quite a number of years. A USRA stable. Some new paint schemes here on these and some returns. These will also have a new gearbox and new chassis design underneath these as well. So from the sort of the bottom and inside out, these will be a new locomotive, which will be, I think, well received.
Mm-hmm.
Peter likes the Sioux line.
Got a lot of compliments on the Sioux line as a surviving engine out there. I think that's been a real popular hit.
Very neat.
Okay.
And then rounding out our steam locomotives in the catalog, we've got another run of the USRA 060, a nice tiny little engine. Again, the switchers do well. These did not have room for whistle steam, so these all have the swinging bell effect, which is always just as popular.
Wow.
If you're going to use the swinging bell, I mean, a switcher is a great place to use it because you'd be using your bell a lot more often when switching. Really fun feature. These also have the tethered drawbar, so you get pickup from the locomotive and the tender. Also, just because of the size, we had to put some of the electronics in the tender on this. This will have the latching plug on the tether as well on this run, so they'll stay connected much more easily. Another little improvement we were able to make over the first run of these.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Rye, just a couple of questions going back and good comments here. For the Sioux line, will the sounds be from Sioux line 1003 or just general Sioux line sounds? Or
if I can get a good recording, if I can get Tracy up to do a good sound recording of the prototype locomotive, we will certainly try and do that. But I don't have the sounds in the bag, so I won't promise that at this point.
Okay. And a lot of people asking about auxiliary tenders would go great with the Y6 and the Vision, so just keep that in mind if you can.
Yeah, definitely. I get requests every time we put anything N&W in the catalog to do N&W aux tenders. So there are long-term plans to do those with new tooling.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of steam. What a nice selection of different steam engines, small, large, all different paint schemes.
Try to find something for every layout.
Yeah. On the 060s, does one stand out that should be more popular than another, or?
I don't think I have any clear runaway winners in these for myself. We tried to sort of pick roads from a wide variety of areas that we hadn't done before. So if you've got a favorite, go for it. I mean, we know that some of the roads like UP and nickel plate always traditionally sell quite well, but you take your pick.
Yep.
We've got a couple more great sets here. We've got the New Haven Minuteman set with another one of our mountains. Then you've got the boxcar covered hopper. Of course, you got to do a State of Maine car and the N5 caboose. Really nice classic New Haven train. And then we keep getting requests to do these big sets, and they always seem to do well. So with the Y6B, the natural thing seemed to do a good long coal train. So we put 12 hoppers behind it. Those will all have our newly tooled coal loads in them. And then a lighted caboose as well. So good long train to put behind your Y6. It'll have no trouble pulling those. There are 7 more N&W hoppers further back in the catalog. If you have the room and have the guts and want to go even bigger, go for it.
And, Ben from Ben's Trains on Instagram actually shared his top pick. And while we're on the topic of big coal trains, we'll watch a quick video from Ben.
What's going on, TrainWorld fam? This is Ben from Ben's Trains. Lionel just dropped their Volume 2.
Wait a minute. Another catalog? Oh, I hate this time of year.
That's terrible energy and support.
Wait a minute.
because I'm looking at that new Lionel King Cole set, that N&W Y6B with the 12 coal hoppers. That's got to be the ticket. That's item number 2522050. Let me know what you guys are looking at in this new catalog. Drop a comment below. I'm out.
So Ben always does a great job and supporting Lionel and all of the great Lionel products. So he had a great skit there promoting the King Cole set and with all the coal dusted up, and so he does a great job. But he's excited for that set, and it actually has done quite well in the pre-orders. So he's out there promoting, and as he says on Train Tuesdays, drop that bomb. So Ben always does a great job.
Yeah. He's going to have a challenge sneaking this one into the house, I think.
Yeah. He may get in trouble big time on this one.
I was just looking at the measurement. It's over 12 feet long, this set.
Yeah, it is a healthy train.
Is this the biggest train set, bigger than the GG1 set, or?
It's definitely bigger than the GG1 set. It's the biggest one in this catalog. I think it's probably in length. It's similar to the triplex set from Volume 1, or the what was some of the other big ones we've done. The rocket booster set. I think that was a 13-car set. They're all probably pretty comparable in length. They're going to stretch your shrink your layout for sure, no matter what. But for guys who like long trains, if you have clubs or a big layout, this is a great way to go, and it's a good savings over trying to buy all the cars individually.
Yeah. Good looking set.
And sorry, real quick, good question. Are the hoppers on the Y6B set different numbers than independently offered hoppers?
Yes. All the hoppers are different numbers.
Awesome.
So you can 19 different Norfolk and Western hopper numbers in this catalog. Some more scale rolling stock here. Return of the M5 caboose. We've got these in the standard versions as well as some vision versions. These all have multiple different detail configurations that we can do in the tooling, including the different end ladder arrangements, roof arrangements, and so forth. So we've got some paint schemes here that we haven't. Some of these I don't think we've ever done before, and some certainly haven't done in a while, or some subtle variations there. So I'm sure the Long Island one will be popular up in your neck of the woods. And then we also did a Vision Long Island as well.
Very nice.
Pitchy scheme. Nice. This one, as far as I can tell, is a fantasy paint scheme, but I just love that paint scheme. You guys always seem to do really well with it, and I thought this would go great with some of the custom sea liners TrainWorld has done, and other power that's out there. It'd be a nice matching complement to have.
And you snuck in a Conrail in there. I saw that.
Oh yeah.
Don't glaze over that, Ryan.
No, I just go back and look at the most important one in the catalog, the Conrail. This was another one-off paint scheme that they had with a maintenance away number on it, and the unique silver roof. One of their early repaints when the shops just kind of did whatever they felt like doing, and so a neat prototypical variation there.
On the Long Island Vision, is there any mention of Long Island in the dialogue or anything like that? Or
we don't have location specific dialogue, no.
Okay.
But it does give you the fun different crew talk in there, and X3 and so forth. It's a neat car, and I think my favorite feature on these is they have the track IR on them as well. So if you've got the sensor tracks, you can use the end of your train to trigger functions as well as the locomotive, which opens up a lot of options for people who are running trains.
Yep. Cool. Very cool.
X31 boxcars, great, distinctively Pensy car. It's been out of the catalog for a number of years. We're doing the two-door variations here in 6 different paint schemes, 2 road numbers each. So you've got 4 for the Pensy, Penn Central, and then the Seaboard. They had some clone cars of these as well. So some neat variety here for boxcars. looks a little nice to have something a little different than the PS1s all the time.
Yep. You can make Pennsylvania 100 different ways, and they'll buy every one of them. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, Pensy guys are nuts like that. I speak from experience.
Like to see more green Pennsylvania cars and box cars. That I would like to see.
The heavy duty flat car, new variation for us. This is tooling from the rocket booster set. But we took the clamshells off and sort of you get this great looking load that could be just about anything you wanted it to be. So we've had some fun here with some different road names, and then including the AEC which will have the glow in the dark load as well. So it'll be a nice complement to that set. Or just its own standalone piece, of course, for any of these. And then some more 8,000 gallon tank cars. Again, the AEC car with the load inside. We've got the main central U.S. Army in Alaska there, and the normal variations to fill it out. Nice, highly detailed cars. Added a few more of our hot box reefers. This is a really fun piece. We've got the code is finished. This is a vision level reefer. But with the addition of the hotbox effect. So you still get all the loading and unloading sequences that you had in the Vision Reefer, but then you can also activate the hotbox sequence. And the longer you let it go, the more intense the dialogue and squeaking gets, and then eventually you get the light and the smoke effects until you stop the train and put the fire out. So a really fun car that you can control and have a lot of play value with. We did a couple of freight schemes and then also some schemes based on express reefers. So if you wanted to tuck one into a passenger train and have some hot box fun there, you could do so as well. And then also some great trailer on flat car sets, some road names we have not done before, a couple of nice U.S. Army variations there for the military trains, and some other fun road names.
Yeah, and just we haven't announced anything yet, but we may be doing a flat with trailers and with RBP trains. So keep an eye on that. He'll probably announce it on his channel. So we're still working out the fine details on that. So stay tuned.
Looking forward to seeing that one as well. All right. This is a car that we've had requests for since we acquired the Weaver tooling a number of years ago, and are finally getting around to bringing out the Milwaukee Road ribside box cars. Just like the X31 is distinctively Pensy, these things are just iconic Milwaukee Road. And so we've got 6 different variations in deco here with 2 numbers each that sort of chronicle the life of these cars. They traveled the whole country. And again, having something like this in your freight train, it just breaks up the monotony of all the other normal looking box cars with those extra rib details. The spent grain cars will have the roof hatch details as well on these that were in Miller service out of Milwaukee. So some neat details and just a fun, unique car and a variety of great paint schemes. AC2 covered hoppers. Again, a fun little car with the open panel there between these interior slope sheets on the sides, which makes them a little bit different than the normal Pullman standard PS2s. And some fun road names. Again, 2 road numbers each here for all the different cars.
That ACL is nice, in that gray color. Very nice. I've never seen that before. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's funny. So, sometimes a very simple paint scheme, just in the right color and the right fonts, and a little bits of trim here and there can really stand out and be a nice looking car.
Yeah.
And then we've got our larger 4-bay ACF center flows as well. We went the opposite spectrum on these and went with some pretty bright color schemes. and added some of the weathering effects as well and graffiti on some of the cars. So you've got, for the graffiti and weathered versions, you've got the ACFX cars. Plain ordinary gray car when they started out, but over the years have gotten some interesting weathering and graffiti effects and now stand out in any train. We've also got two patched Anderson cars, one former Rock Island car, one former Chessie car, that will have unique patterns and graffiti. And then the CSX former Family Lines cars, we did those as patched and weathered cars as well. In 2 road numbers. And where you see 2 road numbers, of course, they'll each have unique art, and all the cars will have unique art on both sides. For those who like them clean and fresh out of the shop, it doesn't get much brighter than the Rio Grande's bright orange cars. And then the Cumberland Plastics car turned out really nice as well, too. So I thought that was a really great looking paint scheme and wanted to add it into the collection.
On the CSX, it's just weathering and no graffiti, correct?
Yes, no graffiti, but you've got a lot of patches and paint outs on those cars from things that changed over the time. So you still have that same sort of varied look that adds the interest.
Yeah. I like it. I like it without the graffiti. But honestly, I like weathering. Weathering is something that we need more of. There ain't enough of it, for sure.
Yeah, if you like to weather cars or you want to try it, this gets you the look without having to do all the hard work yourself. You could still, obviously, if you wanted to, enhance it further with paints or powders or any of those things and make it even dirtier. But if you don't think you have the talent or the time to do that, this gets you a good looking, bad looking car. All of them once.
Or Lionel can make an accessory like a train wash, make it a weather wash, and just kind of like run the train through and spray it up.
I'm sure customer service would love that idea, Ken. Love that. And as promised, we've got some more of our 3-bay hoppers here. All of these hoppers are available in 2 different 3-packs and a single pack. So all of them uniquely numbered. So 7 road numbers per paint scheme here, a variety of road names to expand your rosters, including, as promised, some more Norfolk and Western and Pensy cars. And then we've also got some new coal loads here in the catalog. These are a newly tooled item that will fit our Lion scale, but also the former Weaver 2, 3, and 4-bay hoppers. So any of those cars, these will work in. They're a nice drop-in fit, and you'll get 6 plastic loads per pack. So if you've got long hopper trains, you could buy a few packs of these and fill yourself right up. And then you can pop them in or out if you want to run loads or empties. So neat addition, something we've had, again, a lot of requests for since we had acquired the old Weaver tooling, was to do loads for the cars. So hopefully those will do well for you as well. Not only to go with the cars in this catalog and previous Lionel catalogs, but cars that go back a good ways.
Yeah, it's a good look. They're doing probably the best selling in the catalog right now. Everybody's buying coal loads.
All right, I think it's time to turn things over to my compatriots here and let them take over on the traditional section of the catalog. And we'll start with Meghan and the LionChief Plus 2.0 locomotives.
Great. So as I touched upon back in the Halloween section, we are bringing back the Lion Master J3 Hudsons here. We have 4 great paint schemes here, kicking off with New York Central in a few different color schemes here. And I think one of the standout favorites of that is the Pacemaker scheme, purely fantasy scheme, but is getting a lot of buzz and hype. And then rounding it out with the Lionel lines. What's great about these locomotives is that they're highly detailed locomotives, but able to fit on a smaller layout and still get all those really great features in them, very feature rich with the LC 2.0 series.
Yeah, Meghan, these are really popular. And what's great about Lionel is everybody, including all the influencers out there, are excited about Lionel. And Chris Rains, actually, from RBP Trains on YouTube, has a top pick, and we'll tune in to see, because it's
What's up, TrainWorld fam? My name is Chris with the YouTube channel RBP Trains, and Lionel just released their latest catalog, which means there's new trains to look at. My pick this round is going to be the LionChief Lionmaster Hudson. You got 4 different engines to choose from, and these things will run on anything, and they're going to look good doing it. Let me know, what's your pick for the latest catalog? Do you agree? Disagree? Leave a comment below.
So Chris is excited about those Hudsons as well.
That's awesome. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, the LionMaster line really is a great mid-range product. You've got pretty close to legacy level, scale level detail. These are very similar to the scale legacy J3s we did a few catalogs back, but everything's just shrunk down a little bit. So it'll look nice on smaller scale equipment or traditional size cars behind it, 031 curves. And as Chris mentioned, you can run it with anything, TMCC, conventional, Bluetooth. You've got all the CAD3 app. You've got all sorts of control options with it.
Continuing on, the LC 2.0 world have the GP38s. Ryan actually brought the CSX locomotive to me, so we definitely had to throw these in here. It's the CSX CPKC collaboration for their first hydrogen-powered locomotive that was unveiled in April 2024. Just a really cool paint scheme on here, and one I think a lot of people are excited about. We also have Canadian Pacific, Ohio Central with the Operation Lifesaver branding on it. The Paducah and Louisville, and the Seaboard System GP38 here. Again, able to run with all kinds of different operating systems and look really nice on your layout. We try to pick really fun deco schemes for these, and I think these are real winners for the GP38s.
That CSX, is that running on the rails right now, a real train?
It is, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, interesting. Never seen that color scheme before, so that'll do well. That's something different.
Yeah, as Megan said, it's an experimental conversion unit. It uses pretty much a GP38 car body, and came out in April. And as soon as it came up, I was like, Megan, do that.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So
we gotta get this one done.
So hopefully it sells well for you.
Yeah. What's the wording underneath the CSX in the middle there? I can't see with the handrail.
It describes the fuel source on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't even see with the rails there, but I believe it mentions the hydrogen underneath it.
Gotcha. Okay. Yep.
All right.
And continuing on, just mentioned CPKC. The Canadian Pacific and Kansas City Southern Railroads merged just a little bit over a year ago. This locomotive is a celebration of that with the new CPKC locomotive. This locomotive was actually voted on by the employees of the rail, and this is the one they chose. So we tried to make sure that we got all the details correct on here. It has the different CP trailers, Kansas City Southern trailers. It has the Fast Freight, which is a partnership that they have with a Canadian trailer company, Kansas City Southern. So I think this one's going to do really well. It'll have the EOT, non-operational, but on the last well car, and then a Maxi Stack add-on for those that want to grow the set.
Yeah. I know that dealers and distributors were talking if this set is incorrectly priced, but it's not. And there's such great value for the money here. You're getting 3 container cars that alone are almost $300, and now you got an engine also. And they're great looking cars, great looking engine. This by far is going to be the best value in the catalog. It really is.
We're always trying to find ways to make sure that our customers get a good value for their money, and anytime that we can bring a set out at a lower price point, we strive to do that.
Yeah, well, thank you for that. I'd like to see that engine in a 2.0 also. That would be.
Here's the actual engine And what Lionel is doing at putting the starter set is really great. And hopefully it gets also newcomers into the hobby, people who have seen this in the articles and being written up, and also on the rails as well. So that's really cool. And I just wanted to show a example of the CSX engine out there. So it's actually on the rails as well. So really unique that Lionel has kind of done some new paint schemes like that.
Ryan, just a question. Is there any talk of making something that'll convert a LionChief to a LionChief 2.0, LionChief Plus? Any way to convert?
No, there's a lot more involved in making something like that happen than just changing out the board.
Okay.
On our end. So no immediate plans to do that.
Okay.
One of the nice things about the base 3 is that you'll now have the ability that regardless of what you have in each individual engine, you'll be able to control them with whatever control system you have. So that gives us the sort of the workaround of I want to control my LionChief engine with my cab 2 remote, or I want to run different things. So that's one of the ways that we're trying to bring all the worlds of Lionel in together. But conversions from LionChief to LC 2.0 or to Legacy, just not really a very practical conversion that most people would be able to do on their own. It would involve a lot more than just changing out, one board for another.
Okay. Yep.
All right, always a popular scheme, bringing back Area 51 Railroad. We have sets every few years. It was time to bring out a new one. This one's going to be, I think, really cool, packed full of features here. The transport car is lighted. You have the derrick car with the manual boom on it, and the searchlight car with the rotating searchlight on it. Again, what's great about the Area 51 stuff is everything that we've done kind of matches with everything that we've done before. So you can mix and match all these pieces in, rotate in and out, all the different pieces that you have. We have the helicopter flat add-on car with a really cool blacked out helicopter on it, and Area 51 maxi stack car as well that you can add onto this set or any other Area 51 set that you may have or collect.
Yeah, really, really fun stuff.
We had so much fun with the Area 51 stuff that we included not only some additional accessories for you, but some scale pieces as well. Ryan talked about the 8K tank car a little bit further back in the catalog with the liquid in it. What's really cool about the tank car accent this time is we're going to use that liquid filled tank car. We're going to stick a really large alien inside of it and have the lighted ooze on the side of this, and some brand new figures as well. You have like the Men in Black and the alien figures, which you can also get in separate sale. And then we have the Great Hotbox Reefer, the AK Tank Car separate sale, which will have a different road number than the one on the accessory, and the Heavy Duty Flat Car, which will glow in the dark for you.
Yeah,
great
really
stuff.
cool.
Great stuff.
And there's some really fun warning labels on the Hotbox Reefer too, as being the alien transport unit, that it's to be kept at freezing temperatures only and not to overheat. So just one, a little bit of fun when you get your Hotbox on the car.
That's awesome. And the flat with the helicopter is really cool. I thought that was one of the cooler freight cars in the whole catalog. And quite honestly, when I saw that, I was like, oh, can you guys do the old Batman helicopter? Would be amazing. But this looks really neat. It's going to be a home run.
You can't talk about aliens and government agencies and not have the black helicopters, right? You need the black helicopter.
Look sharp. Look sharp.
I'm always trying to have a little fun with up and coming movies and licenses that we have. And Beetlejuice actually comes out in a couple weeks. We have 2 pieces of rolling stock here that celebrate the original 1988 version of Beetlejuice. We have the illuminated lighted boxcar. The Beetlejuice sign on the right-hand side kind of lights up for you. And then we have the classic Beetlejuice boxcar that has all the great scenes from the movie that people know and love, including Lydia Dietz looking over the model of the town. Beetlejuice in its Showtime pose, the handbook for the recently deceased. So really cool for fans of that movie and fans of movies from the 80s.
That's awesome. I actually just saw a commercial for this coming out, and they showed the clips of the new Beetlejuice. So this is going to be huge, and it's a really big deal. And for everybody out there, I know we see a lot of complaints. Well, how do you everybody gets people into the hobby? No one's doing anything, whatever. That's baloney. Lionel is doing so much for the hobby, and especially look at this, for example, this Beetlejuice car. You know, they're really turning something into a traditional hobby and trying to get people who are into Beetlejuice and into popular kitschy movies, and they do so many other movies as well. But this, you could get really anyone. Beetlejuice is an iconic movie, so to get people into the hobby, it's a really cool way and creative of what Lionel is doing. So kudos to Lionel and their team for trying to attract newcomers, as well as the followers. You know, anyone who collects trains knows about Beetlejuice, so it's just going to be a great collector piece.
All right, shifting gears a little bit here, going back in time. We have a continuation of our American history series. So this is where we really like to celebrate important anniversaries, icons, figures, moments, not only in American history, but also connected to railroad history as well. And if you're a fan of Lionel's presidential series or our Battlefield Honor series, then this is probably right in your wheelhouse. So a couple important anniversaries we just want to touch on here. The 150th anniversary of the Eads Bridge. And so this was a combined road and railway bridge built in 1874 by James Buchanan Eads, a very accomplished engineer in his day. He actually he would build gunboats for the Union during the Civil War. So just a fun fact there. It's not only the largest bridge, but also first steel bridge of its day. And it's still standing over the Mississippi, which I think is pretty incredible. And then from the bridge itself, you can actually see the famous St. Louis Arch. So a lot of fun history here. We even tried to add a little bit of detail on the car itself to kind of emphasize the arch, right? And then another important anniversary, we have a 150th anniversary since first operation for Denver, South Park, and Pacific Railroad. And what's really cool about this is this historic 3-foot narrow gauge railroad operated in Colorado during the mining industry back in the late 19th century. So this is going to have really spectacular scenic routes. And if you are a tourist in this area, you can actually go visit some of the restored stations and track segments. So it's still very much alive today. And we like to include a lot of those fun facts that I've been mentioning on the car itself to kind of just bring the richness of the history into the car for a bit more storytelling. And again, all these cars are printed and assembled here in North Carolina. And then last but certainly not least, and probably the car that has become my favorite in this series, is Roxy the Long Island Railroad dog. And I know we have plenty of Long Island Railroad fans here. As the story goes with Roxy, if you're not familiar, a young lady brings her pit bull terrier mix in 1901 onto Long Island Railroad. She hands her dog to a railroad employee, and due to a mysterious mix-up, the dog and the railroad employee are separated. But that unfortunate error kind of became our benefit because Roxy would go on to travel the rails for about 13 years, meeting new friends, experiencing plenty of new adventures. Roxy actually received a lifetime railroad pass on Long Island Railroad, best seat in the house every day, and also had a $300 bank account at the Corn Exchange Bank in Long Island, among many other benefits. So when Roxy ended up passing away in 1914, he was given a really proper memorial, headline in New York State papers, and really just continues to be a really important part of Long Island Railroad history today. So I think these cars are just going to do really well. And again, we don't have any plans on stopping this series. We have plenty of important anniversaries coming up, including America's 250th in 2026. So lots of good things to celebrate. Toss it back.
Awesome.
Are you guys familiar with Roxy out there in Long Island?
You know what? I wasn't, but I did see this car, and I thought it was pretty cool, tying to the history and Long Island Railroad. I wasn't aware of it. I had to Google it, and it came up, so that was pretty cool to see that.
It's a great story that makes you feel good. There have been some storybooks written on them, and there's a lot out there online. So if it's a new story to people, I hope they'll go and look it up and read about Roxy. He's a fun little scamp. And should be right up your eyes. If you don't like trains and you don't like dogs, then you are in the wrong place here. So
very good, very good.
Out and cabbing off the catalog with some cabooses here. We have a Christmas version and a Lionel Lines caboose for those who like to piecemeal or put together their own consists instead of sets. Some great cabooses there. We also have the return of the caboose stand accessory. What's cool about this is that you can, if you want, pull this caboose around your layout or park it on a siding, light it up and put the great deck kit that comes with it in it. The deck kit that comes with it is really easy to build. You can finish it, paint it, glue it together. We give really good instructions in there how to put it together. And again, comes with a piece of 10-inch track if you want to park it off on the side to power the caboose itself and light it up. You're good to go. And additionally, we have a new version of the fast track grade crossing with gates and flashers. This is newly improved for better operation. Includes a new servo motor in it. Gives you a little bit higher gate lift than the one we did previously. We eliminated the need for electronic boxes and improved the performance on it. I expect that you will probably see a Dave show on this later on, demonstrating how this works. But again, really easy. Just plug it right into your layout there. Connects right easily to your fast track, and you're good to go.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then, as you mentioned, then we'll sort of wrap up in the catalog where we started off with Base 3 and the Cab 3 app that are available now. And you guys have been pushing a lot of them through the doors, so thank you for that. And join Dave here next week, same time, same place. Hopefully we get him espressoed up for his 8:30 call, and he'll be able to explain all the ins and outs of this like no one else, and help everyone get set up and running. It's the hookup actually couldn't be easier. If you've ever done a Cab 2 or a Cab 1, it's still a one-wire hookup to your layout, and then just get yourself connected, and away you go.
Yeah, right. This is going to be a great episode. Anyone, and it seems like everybody is ordering the Base 3 because that's how you're going to run all your engines. So if you do have the Base 3 or are thinking about getting the Base 3, make sure you tune in next Thursday morning, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Join us on TrainWorld TV. Dave Olson from Lionel is going to be on. It's going to be a great episode. He's going to go over 101s, FAQs, tons of different stuff. But if you have questions, this is going to be the show to join us on. And please keep in mind, this is a brand new unit for everyone, for the Lionel team, for our team, for all the dealers out there. So we barely haven't even tested it or used it. So even for us, a show like this is great to kind of learn from Dave. So it's kind of like a hands-on approach. The more everybody gets used to it, the more you have it in your hands, the more you play with it, the more everyone's going to get more familiar, used to it. So don't get aggravated, don't get frustrated, just give it some time. Our team as well is going to have some take some time and play with it. We actually, all our employees are just starting to take them home now, so they're just starting to play with it, get used to the hookup setup. So the questions that are coming in, we haven't really had time to delve into it and run across these situations. So give everybody some time, some breathing room. We're all getting used to it. So tune in next week, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Dave will be on, and we could throw a bunch at him, and he'll be happy to walk all of us through it. So we're excited for that.
Yeah, Ryan. I had a customer come in and pick up his Base 3. and he uses a TrainWorld a Christmas gift certificate from 2021. So I asked him, why did you wait so long to use this gift certificate? He goes, that's what I asked my family for. I wanted a base 3 for Christmas. So he got the gift certificate, and he's been waiting and waiting and waiting. And just the technology involved in this base 3 to meet today's standards, and it's the ultimate, latest, greatest. It's and I'm glad you guys waited to put it out like this, because it's a home run. It's definitely a home run.
Yeah, well, definitely the years that we were producing this through every hurdle imaginable at our engineering team in terms of, and production teams in terms of building this thing. But it is a solid unit, and we're getting lots of good feedback. And that's, that's kudos to you guys for not having, requiring the down payment on your pre-order. So that's why I was able to hold on to that gift certificate for so long. So throw a nice TrainWorld plug back out there at you. For folks who maybe already acquired it, or you're still waiting to get yours, or on the fence and you want to learn more, and if you just can't wait until a week from now, 2 things that you can start doing right away. If you go to our dedicated website, control.lionel.com, there you will find the complete instruction manuals for the Base 3, the Cab 3 app, as well as a lot of other great information on LCS and power supplies and so forth. A lot of the things Dave has put up videos on and written some great content. So that will help walk you through the processes, and will answer a lot of questions if you go there. Whether you have the Base 3 in your hands or not, the Cab 3 app is a free download, and you can download that from the App Store or the Google Play Store, depending on which system you're using on your phone or smart device. You can pick that up right now. The Bluetooth side will work without the Base 3, so you can control trains with the Bluetooth, or you use the Base 3 side to run with the legacy controls. The cab is set up. Cab 3 is set up to very much mimic the old Cab 2. So if you're familiar with that, your transition will be very easy for most of us. But you can start to at least sort of look around the app and get yourself familiar a little bit before you actually connect. Or so also, if you're a member of a club or you have a friend and you go run trains over there, this gives you the ability to just download a free app and go run trains anywhere they've got a Base 3 hooked up by joining into their system. So it's a great way to get more people engaged in the hobby. If you do have questions, you can send questions, whether it's about Cab 3, Base 3, or anything Lionel. Send them to talktous@lionel.com. All of those emails that are Base 3 related are getting sent to a special box, and Dave is taking a look at everything too. So if there are any issues that are that we're finding with the app, any bugs or things like that, he's able to catch them. So he's been very, very busy with that ever since Base 3 hit the streets. So know that he's been seeing a lot of that feedback as well, and it's also helping him figure out not just things that are actual bugs, but a lot of things that are just maybe confusing or need better explanations in the control.lionel.com or so, and things like that. So he should be good and ready for you next week, Ken, for all the questions that you may get. But feel free to send questions there as well, so that we can help you out. Or check out control.lionel.com. It's going to be your new one-stop source for all things Lionel Control, in a great way for us to keep things updated and ongoing.
Yeah, and if you're nervous about new technology, buying the first one, we have only had one return in Trainland, and that could have been solved, and it was solved by Lionel by a quick answer. And basically, the customer could have went to control.lionel.com instead of coming back in. So I encourage everyone, if you have questions, a lot of the any hiccups or hurdles that you're running into can be resolved at control.lionel.com. Lionel actually did a really great job putting everything together all in one place, all the questions, any concerns that you may have, how to hook it up, what to do with your routers, all that stuff. Everything is here It's very easy. They have a search bar. You could search by what you have as well. So they really made it very simple. So if you do have any questions on the base 3, make sure you head over there. They're making it really simple for any questions out there.
All right. I think we've hit all the great new goodies in C2, Ken. So turn it back over to you if you have any more special announcements or things that you would like to make. I know we've still got a few weeks left in the order window, just a couple weeks left. So get your orders into TrainWorld, and that way we can get orders over to the factories. Our goal for that is right around the beginning of September to get all of our orders over to the factories so they can get these into a production schedule, and we can get them over to you timely enough in 2025 as we work on the next catalogs and announcements. So the time is present, and a lot of the legacy locomotives and so forth, as usual, are build to order. So we depend on the orders that you guys get. That dictates how many we build. And I know TrainWorld usually orders a few extra, but you order extra based on the orders you get as well. So you can follow the trends, and you get your best pricing when you order early. So now's the time. Get those orders in.
Yeah. Definitely get yours in. And again, we wrap up here. We're doing a raffle, so put in the chat hashtag I love Lionel or hashtag Lionel24C2 and state you're from. We're going to wrap up this TrainWorld boxcar, but all these great items on the new catalog can be found at trainworld.com. We're taking pre-orders now. Lionel has done a great job with this catalog, and as you see here on the header is the base 3, but we have all the Lionel products listed. You could sort by the catalog Lionel 2024 C2, and just tons of selections out there. Engines, you could really narrow it down, whatever you're looking for. Engine style, if you're looking for Mikado, you go to the Mikados. You could sort by electronics, rolling stock, whatever your road name. If you're looking for a Long Island, you type in Long and you see Long Island Railroad. You see the selections that Lionel's offering in this catalog. So it's really neat feature, really easy to use. And again, Dad, when's the pre-order deadline? Do you know offhand again?
Not offhand, I don't. I don't want to say a wrong date.
Meghan, Cori, anyone know?
Pre-order deadline, I believe for us was the 26th.
I think it's the 26th for us.
So
Okay.
you guys may be a day or two ahead of that. I don't know, because you don't like Larry and John have to call you and badger you for numbers. So
All right, so get them in as soon as possible. We don't know the exact date, so it's better to be safe than sorry. Get them in. Hopefully, maybe by next week, you could get all these pre-orders in. I know it's a lot in this catalog, and between the Hudsons, the Y6Bs, the GG1s, a lot of cool stuff out there. So make sure you get your pre-orders in. Ken Sr., what were your favorite picks? What do you think in this catalog?
Well, definitely the LionChief Plus Hudsons. That's like a major home run. The detail on that engine, the size of the engine, and even though it's a LionChief 2.0 Plus, everybody kind of thinks, oh, it's not built to order. Don't worry, I'll get it later. Let me tell you, Lionel is building very close to the vest on a lot of stuff. And I'm trying to get stuff that just got released, Berkshire's. And I called yesterday and they say, oh, we're sold out. We're sold out. We're sold out. I'm saying, but it just came out. So even though it's a 2.0 LionChief Plus, you better pre-order it. It's a, if you really want it, don't wait till you see it, or just pre-order it. With us, it's no deposits and you can cancel if you like. But it's all good stuff. Everybody's going to wish they had a pre-order on a lot of this stuff right now. And it's summertime, so it's a lot of people are on vacation, and the pre-orders are coming in, and people are going to wait to the very last minute. But get your order in before it's too late, because Lionel sets a number, at a certain point, and that's it. There's no adding to that number. So it's a hot commodity. Lionel's a hot train, just as simple as that.
That's a good point, because a lot of people out there are thinking, the legacies are built to order, which they are, and you got to get your pre-orders in right away. But on the Hudson and LionChief Plus too, they sell out. And you said the Hudsons just came in last week, and Lionel's Berkshires, they're already selling out. So make sure you get your pre-orders in, because whether it's LionChief or built to order stuff, legacy, if it's hot, it's hot, and it's going to sell out. So make sure you get your pre-orders in.
Yeah.
And the GG1s, a lot of people are talking about this. This was the big Vision Line announcement. And we also have some influencers that did some really cool videos with us. And RJ had a top pick and was one of the GG1s. Play that for you real quick.
What's up, TrainWorld fam? This is RJ from RJ's Trains. Lionel just released their all-new Volume 2 2024 catalog, and I am super excited for the re-release of the Vision Line GG1s. Specifically, that all-black Penn Central one with the all-white Penn Central logo, item number 2533060. I've been waiting for one of these for years, and I'm very excited that Lionel is finally making it. Let us know down in the comments what you're going to be ordering from the all-new Lionel catalog.
So this catalog, there's really something for everyone, and all the top influencers out there are excited that Lionel produced such a great catalog, and everybody has a different pick. And this is Chris from Chris's Trains and Things. Let's play his video. He sent us something here.
Hey, TrainWorld fam, it's Chris from Chris's Trains and Things. I'm here looking at the new Lionel catalog. They just dropped that Volume 2 catalog, and man, is it a doozy. I gotta tell you, my top pick for this catalog is the Conrail GG1. This is 33040. It's locomotive 4800, so old rivets in that Conrail blue. Man, that's gonna look fantastic, and I hope to add it to my collection. Leave me a comment of all the great things in this catalog. What is your top pick from Lionel's Volume 2 2024 catalog?
So, Chris, you see there, I think he's in cahoots with Ryan talking about this Conrail GG1. Ryan must have slipped him a 20 out the back door just to throw up that Conrail GG1 to promote it.
He's just got great taste. I mean, what can I say? Chris, your check's in the mail, buddy.
Well, Meghan likes that New York Central pacemaker Hudson, so I think she's right on the money on the whole catalog, I think. But we'll see. Everybody's got their favorites.
Well, thank you to all the influencers who put those together, and to you guys for putting those out there. They did a really great job with that, pitching their favorites, and it's wonderful to see those things. And you guys are doing a great job by helping to sort of pull all that together in the TrainWorld TV. I really enjoy seeing those, and I think to what we talked about earlier, every one of them's got something different that they love, and that's what to us is the sign of a really successful catalog, is that people are all gravitating to something unique. That means we cast it out there and got it right. So that's awesome.
And today on this show, we went through the whole catalog. So everybody out there, because we have a lot of people following today, and throughout the next couple of weeks, everybody's going to be watching this video. Let us know your top picks from this catalog. You saw so many wide selection, whether it's Vision Line, Legacy, LionChief, rolling stock traditional items, Halloween items. There's something for everyone out there, and we want to know out there what people are interested, and we want to hear from you out there. We had a lot of great feedback, and we want to thank you everyone for watching today. We had tremendous feedback and support. We couldn't be here on today without your support, so we want to thank you very much. And big shout out to the Lionel team, Ryan, Meghan, Cori. They really take their time out to help us promote the hobby, to be on these shows. I was able to get them out early this morning, which they're always up and early, but I really appreciate them being on at such an early time. It's extremely helpful and really appreciative on our side of things. And David just chatted it out. He's excited for the 4800. And people are already calling in this morning for their orders. The Lionel
pre-orders in.
orders.
We did the trick. That or the missus is calling for senior again.
Actually, my wife is babysitting and she FaceTimes me with my grandson. So it's a great thing. Great thing. Maybe he wanted to chime in, my grandson, for Lionel. I don't know.
Let's find out what his favorite pick from the catalog is and put him up here. It'd be nice to.
Yeah.
I think little Luca liked the Area 51 trains. I don't know. So, but this was great. Thank you so much, Lionel, Ken Sr., for joining us on today, this early morning. And again, don't forget, next week we have Dave Olson from Lionel Trains talking about the Base 3. Everybody has the Base 3. If you don't, you're going to be ordering it to run your Lionel trains. So you need to know how to set it up, all the frequently asked questions. Dave is going to break it down for you next Thursday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So join us on TrainWorld TV. And again, if you like something that you saw on tonight, make sure you go ahead and go to trainworld.com, place your pre-order right away. We don't know when the exact deadline date is, so just put it in as soon as possible. And thank you very much, everyone out there, for joining. And thanks for a great show. Tremendous.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a great morning. Take care.
Okay. We'll see you soon. Thank you, Cori and Meghan.